Welcome, everybody, to episode number 40 of the Hookup on Music podcast. I am your host, Tony, and I am glad to be here tonight because tonight we are officially kicking it into double gear because it is no lie that Halloween is my favorite holiday. In the house I grew up in, it was the favorite holiday celebrated. All the windows decorated with different pumpkins and skeletons and little witches and all this stuff. And I have continued that trend currently. Right now, out in my front yard is a Mars Attacks, a figure that I put together with a costume and the mask and everything. It's all homemade and put together. And well, tonight we're putting together just a lot of awesome, all around great Halloween spooky type of tracks. You know, Mars Attacks has a great soundtrack with Danny Elfman composing it. And if you are not familiar with Danny Elfman, he is the lead singer of Oingo Boingo, who was always known to be putting on just amazing concerts back then when they were still performing. Just something that I guess if you got the opportunity, like always, you can check out some of these old performances on the old YouTube. Just look like a lot of high energy, a lot of people having a really good time. And well, that's what we're here for tonight, is to have a really good time and share with you just a lot of scary and spooky songs. But before we do that, we got some new music going to be coming out this week. Rolling Stones is finally upon us. The new Rolling Stones album that I've been talking about, Hackney Diamonds, will be coming out this Friday. It is officially going to be released after releasing a couple songs that are just really good. Also coming out with a new album on Friday, the 9th studio album by Blink-182, One More Time. Really curious to hear that whole piece of work. I really dug their performance at Coachella. And from all indications of listening to people who went to their shows in other cities, including here nearby Chicago, that they definitely, I think, our people are ready to hear this new album. It's not like, well, a lot of those bands where you're like, oh, I don't know. They've promoted it with 6 singles so far. Edging was the first single that, honestly, a long time ago when I first heard it, didn't strike with me, but honestly, neither did the new Rolling Stones song until More Plays, and then I kind of got what was going on and actually dug it. One More Time, More Than You Know, Feel It, Fell in Love, You Don't Know What You've Got. Just a lot more maturity in some of the lyrics, but with still the same old fun that you are used to with Blink-182. So it's going to be curious to hear that whole piece of work, both of those artists' piece of work, when they are released this Friday, along with a bunch of other goodies that I'm sure we are going to dig into when they cross our plane. But continuing ahead, awesome rock songs with scary vibes, Halloween vibes is why we are here. Let's get started with the very first track here that we're going to be discussing tonight. A really classic by the Specials. Ghost Town is, well, it's really awesome. When I think of Halloween, I always think of the Specials' Ghost Town. Really great for a Halloween party. It's got a great vibe, and the Specials are just an awesome band. Okay, from Britain. Okay, but the song is just it has a scary vibe, along with the skeleton on the cover. If you're watching, or if you are just familiar with it, I guess the song was written and just kind of came out of the blue. But when you hear that riff and that vibe in that song, it's not coming out of the blue. And what it really is awesome for a Halloween party, even though, unfortunately, the lyrics don't really describe a Halloween party. They describe more, unfortunately, urban decay, unemployment, and a lot of violence. But unfortunately, it is still, when Halloween time comes around, just because the Specials are awesome and everyone loves some skeletons with a real cool hat, Specials Ghost Town is definitely one that I think is worth the time Just all around, again, good band. Other stuff by them were really, really good. Um, the Monster Mash, we are all familiar with the said Monster Mash. I've heard the Monster Mash, I believe, since I was honestly in kindergarten. And it's been played pretty much at every kind of Halloween party I think I've been to. Honestly, it's considered a novelty song, okay, by Bobby Boris Pickett. And you're saying, who is Bobby Boris Pickett? Bobby Boris Pickett, okay, from Somerville, Massachusetts, was the songwriter of the song. It was a novelty song, and he just really, honestly, he wanted to kind of spoof the genre of the scariness. Um, of the original Boris Karloff and the Bela Lugosi's and the mixes and the mashes, and that's why it's called the Monster Mash. It is a graveyard smash. The lyrics, honestly, bar none, really, I think are tops in the game of awesomeness. I think when you're being described some of the things that are in the song, you want to be at the Monster Mashes pretty much. It's pretty good stuff. Um, I think from all indications, reaching out to other people, there isn't really anybody that I've met who has never heard the Monster Mash. But if you have not heard the Monster Mash, it is definitely a graveyard smash. So check out the Monster Mash. Really, really, really good stuff. Screamin' Jay Hawkins, I Put a Spell on You. Another one that is definitely has been spelled by many, 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 many different artists, which is kind of the when you got a good song, I think it's the norm that people are going to cover it. But Screamin' Jay Hawkins version is definitely where I would say it kind of got started for me. And honestly, a really, 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 really cool cover. Again, more skeletons. You got Screamin' Jay Hawkins thinking he's Nosferatu slash Dracula. Just awesome. The backing music, it really it just unearths an pretty a scary vibe. Brian Ferry from Roxy Music does a really really good job. Um, I if you have never heard it, Jeff Beck does a version with Joss Stone that's really good. Um, but all around, just a really 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 awesome song. So check that one out if you have not. Um, when you're in this mood to listen to scary stuff, it's definitely what you want to do is to keep the rocking and keep the rolling, but you also want to be watching scary movies. And if you have yet not been checking out the 31 Days of Halloween on our channel, it is just an amazing piece of work. And one of my favorite Halloween movies um, is Pet Sematary, and honestly, I like Pet Sematary more and more when I think of the Ramones, who wow, being able to get in there and do a song for an awesome Stephen King novel based movie. Definitely something that I think people want to check out. And if they got an opportunity and have never seen Pet Sematary and don't remember the Ramones' awesome placement in that, I definitely think it's worth it. For me, the song entitles something I think a little bit more from the Ramones. I definitely remember hearing one of the band members, I do believe it was Johnny, stating that it was the first time where he had to play a lot more complicated chords than maybe some of their other songs. Which honestly, the song it really entitles making you not want to live in a pet cemetery. You don't want to live your life that way, and the reason is because you don't come back the same way as you do. And the song really, again, is really really great, and it's definitely one I would personally put at the top of my horror Halloween scary list. Other ones, just before we kind of move on, a couple, just as I'm going to throw them out there as we continue going forward. The Doors, The End, just that whole 11-minute vibe of that song and those lyrics, "This is the end." Pretty scary stuff, along with Pink Floyd, right around that same period. "Careful with that axe, Eugene." Wow, if you have not checked out the Live at Pompeii version, please do that. I think it's amazing. Really good stuff. Um, and going forward with really good stuff is always the season of the witch. Really awesome. Just great all around. What I would say a scary song that that if you haven't heard the whole thing, especially with the lyrics when Donovan kicks in, because of course he's the main man there on the track. Um, but it is just really awesome from 1966. Okay. Um, s- a vibe. I mean, with all these songs we're talking about tonight, we're trying to create a vibe. Um, it was played actually, that main riff there was played on a Fender Telecaster, which I think is just awesome and really cool. Um, um, there is it doesn't Donovan did not mention, but around in the same sessions, Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones kind of showed up, and there's been you know uh they don't know if they were actually on these because they played on another track called Hurdy Gurdy Man, which is, again, if you have never heard that song, another kind of spooky Donovan track. But Donovan was spinning a lot of good stuff back then. Sunshine Superman, if you haven't heard that one, I definitely enjoy that track. But it's got a vibe. These all got vibes, and the vibes that I love, along with, Metallica. They got a track called Am I Evil? Right off the gate, the lyrics are, "My mother is a witch. She was burned alive." So talking about witches in songs are definitely going to get you onto the hookup on music. Really awesome, scary Halloween vibe list, because I think that's definitely just like The Cure's Lullaby. That's a good one too. Like a creepy spider creeping up your shoulder. Definitely not something that you want or anybody wants at any given time. But again, definitely an awesome vibe, which is what we're looking for here tonight. Is we're looking for those awesome vibes, which we're going to keep going here. Um, Boris the Spider, because I was just talking about spiders by The Who. Boris the Spider. Boom, doom, 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 doom. An amazing track by John Entwistle. Definitely one that if you're a fan of The Who and you have only heard their hits, this one is definitely one you will not hear a lot on the actual old um, radio. It's a deep cut, and it's not a long song either, but it definitely is a great one for Halloween time, Halloween season, which is where we are. We are here in the season of the witch, which is honestly just a really great time. All these songs are just meant to to let loose and just have a just have a good time. Okay, when thinking of things like Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's meant to have a good time. The time warp is meant to have you have a good time. In past episodes we've talked about, Werewolves of London. Singing about werewolves is really kind of honestly cool, and I think more bands should be singing more about cool werewolves. Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare, a whole production of just scary songs and spiders and just creeps, and that's pretty much in that vibe category. In the Rob Zombie, who in all of his movies, his songs pop up, and his songs, are meant to enable a more of a kind of a horror vibe. Just just really, 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 really cool, but it's hard, it's tough, you know? If you didn't hear allegations about certain artists, a lot of people, Alice Cooper made some remarks recently that people shied away from him. Um, but actual actions like Michael Jackson, who actually did things that made people really, really turn away. So it's tough even on a show like this to talk about Thriller because, to separate the song by such a some of the rumors or truths, it's tough. It's tough. But what's not tough is Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. You're a fan of horror movies, you have definitely heard this. This has been just just kind of all over the place in a lot of different things. I've heard it in songs. I've heard it in movies. I've heard it a little bit everywhere. But it is there to enable scariness. It is there in the front center of the Scream film series. Okay, a lot of covers on this one. Arctic Monkeys, even PG Harvey. Okay, Iggy Pop. If you haven't, check out Snoop Dogg. He's even doing a really, really great cover. Um, Snoop Dogg is definitely someone I would want on the top of my coming to my Halloween party list. Seems like a good man, a good time, lots of laughs, lots of fun. Like the opposite of one Eminem and his song Kim, where he is just extremely scary and sounds unhinged. And honestly, I'm shocked that that song hasn't been mentioned to possibly maybe never be played ever again, but very, 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 scary stuff. Um, Not so scary, but creepy. When it came out, I don't know really how it sticks up anymore, but was, Voodoo by Godsmack. I do remember that. I remember going to a special club with there was some entertainment there, and the entertainment had a snake around their neck, and it was crazy because Voodoo was playing, and then Reptile by Nine Inch Nails started playing. It was a really, really spooky, spooky good time. Um, and that's generally what you want is a spooky, spooky good time, like the Bat Dance. You know, the Bat Dance by one and only Prince is definitely something that I think is should be at the top, 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 top of everybody's playlist. I mean, Prince, a lot of Prince should be there, but the Bat Dance definitely good for a Halloween party. Just as mentioned at the beginning of the show, anything by Mr. Danny Elfman, who is a huge part of the Nightmare Before Christmas. The old soundtrack, awesome, awesome, awesome vibes. Because is it a Christmas movie? Is it a Halloween movie? Not really sure. But one thing I do know is that Bad Moon Rising by the one and only Creedence Clearwater Revival, it's showing up in American Werewolf in London. Really, really awesome. Um, it really fit the part. I think that song's a great, great werewolf song. I don't know if there was about werewolves because there's been some misconception about the lyrics. Is there a bathroom on the right? No, it's is there a bad moon on the right? I believe is the true thing here. But Bauhaus is Bela Lugosi's dead. Awesome, awesome stuff. Creepy. Bauhaus definitely give off creepy vibes. If you have not heard or seen them in The Hunger with also David Bowie, whose Scary Monsters and Super Creeps definitely should be on your list because that's really, 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 really amazing and awesome. But Bauhaus do a great cover of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. A really interesting cover, really awesome, really good time. Um, and definitely a good time is being had here right now discussing these songs, and it's so hard to like amp them up because we've been just already listing so many, like as the kids say these days, bangers is what I would call the calls. No, I don't know what they call them. But that being said, the next one we got here is, well, Danny Elfman's Oingo Boingo. Okay, go through any album and just put it on. Okay, if you have never heard Dead Man's Party, put it on. That should definitely be at the top of your list of your Halloween party. Honestly, um so many, so many, so many great, great, great Who Do You Want to Be, awesome, awesome, awesome. um Just Oingo Boingo, Danny Elfman, kind of brought him up now. This is the 3rd time on the show. If I haven't said enough, I believe he is definitely somebody who has been keeping the cool Halloween vibes alive for a very, very, very long time. Just like the Talking Heads with a very scary song and Psycho Killer. Um, Lyrics are very, very scary. Definitely don't want to run into any psycho killers. And that bass line is definitely a bass line you want to never get out of your head, um, which is definitely what you want for your Halloween parties is a good bass line. Okay, and Spellbound. Spellbound is just a great great song. And what's so funny is I said great because I was trying to think of the band who sang it, and then I laughed to myself because it's Susie and the Banshees, and I laugh because every time I see Susie spelled that way, I have to chuckle because I'm sure a lot of people still go see, but it is Susie and the Banshees, and Spellbound is another great one with a great bass line, right around the same time as this Talking Heads track. Um, Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. Honestly, to me, there's a lot of songs for me that just never have ever gotten old. Like, I've listened to these songs every time they're on the radio, and I've never not turned them up. And I'm gonna gotta comprise a list of these because now I've just brought it up now, but Don't Fear the Reaper is on that list. The lyrics in this song are amazing, and I remember a band I was in high school where we would try to do the part. Seasons don't fear the reaper, and in the wind and the sun and the rain, we could be like they are. Come on. Thank you for letting me sing that right there. That was fun. But again, song never gets old to me. Really cool. There's a lot of newer songs that I'm finding one doing this that I hope never get old for me either. I didn't know the Dead Kennedys did a Halloween just like the Misfits, who again, go back and check out our old Misfits episode because the whole episode is just nothing but cool Halloween tracks. Okay. I did not know that Radiohead had the song called "A Wolf at the Door," and then I heard it and I was like, I do know the song because, well, I own the album, so that happens quite a lot too. Diary of a Madman. Oh man, what a great album! This is definitely, obviously, I picked "Bark at the Moon" a couple weeks ago, but then I was driving in the car and I heard this track off of Diary of a Madman, and it's called "Believer." Oh man, the guitar riff. Oh, I could talk about, and the song "Diary of a Madman" and "Over the Mountain" and "Flying High Again." And honestly, the front cover, to me, one of the coolest things I've seen first as a kid because Ozzy's just looks amazingly awesome on it. Diary of a Madman, definitely, if you've never sat down and listened to that, I definitely think it's worth your time. Another thing maybe worth your time if you like Diary of a Madman is recently, within the last 5 or 6, 7 years before, unfortunately, Taylor Hawkins passed away, Dave Grohl was hosting the Jimmy Fallon show, and he had on Alice Cooper, and well, they got together and did a really cool version of "I Love the Dead," I believe is the cover. You can look that up on YouTube when you get a second. It is honestly um, it's something to behold, because honestly, it's a band at the top of their game, and it's them just honestly really rocking it. And honestly, it's the Ballad of Dwight Fry is the song. I Love the Dead is also another song that I wanted to talk about because of, well, the title I Love the Dead. Halloween, John Carpenter, gotta mention him. Um, like I said, this is kind of going to be a two-part series. I think next week we got a whole lot more awesome Halloween stuff. We may even have a special guest stop by. We'll have to see through the vaults on maybe who is free and who would like to possibly come on. But that being said, John Carpenter, all through his movies, scary vibes. The type of vibes where I think you definitely you want at your party. You know, you want good vibes at your party. You definitely want Charlie Brown. You always want the Great Pumpkin, and we have arrived to what I would deem is just top notch Halloween music. Vince Giraldi. Oh man, it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Steals my heart every single time. Just a real work of art. You know, it's a real work of pretty much. I think in his work is just passion. Vince Giraldi, definitely going to one day have to sit down and do like just an all star um just Vince Giraldi episode. Definitely something with him because he is just the music. I mean, the cartoon is definitely what it is, but the music, if you do not sit down and listen to the music, you're definitely going to be, I think is going to be just disappointed. Okay. I think if you don't really sit down and listen to all those instruments, you're really going to be sad at what you've been missing this whole entire time. And what you've been missing is just a band at the top of their game performing. Okay, there wasn't just Vincent Giraldi who was on piano and the arranger. You know, you had Emmanuel Klein who was on trumpet. You had John Gray on guitar. You had Ronald Lang on woodwinds. You had Monty Budwig on double bass. You had Colin Bailey on drums. You just really had a band at the top of their game. And honestly, all 30 minutes and 10 seconds of this album is worth your time and worth your effort. Especially because we really wish that every day was Halloween. If you're going to see Ministry, do not expect to really hear this song quite a lot or at all because it is from a bygone era in their career. But oh my, is this a song that I think should be just that bass riff that you heard right there is definitely something I think that is it gets me in that Halloween mood. Like I'm ready to party once I hear that bass riff. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to, go all around and have a good time. I'm ready to drop the needle. Hear that, folks? I just dropped the needle. I mean, it's definitely a really, really, really good track. And honestly, all of these songs that we talked about tonight are really, really, really awesome. Definitely a lot more out there. Trust me, I'm probably going to run into a lot more prepping for the next episode. But this was just a little bit if you're trying to put together maybe a list or you're trying to put together maybe a little something that you're trying to show people or try to, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of, have a good time. Recently we got another concert here. So let us check in and see what we got here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you an opportunity to see if you knew what those two bands that I just played with. And if you do, reach out and I will send you free hookup on music gear. If you don't, next week we're going to tell you who those were and maybe share even a little bit more from that and from them. Um, but you know what the thing about all this is that you allow me to have a good time. You let us, all of us here at the Sadistic Penguin Studios, expand and really share with you some of our awesome things that we've maybe been building up since a long time ago. Nobody here on this channel, definitely, if you're checking out those anything that's going on, you can tell that none of us are rookies, and we've been doing it a very long time. Recently, we've what's the word I'm looking for? Recently, we got together and had a really awesome time at a weenie roast. It was a great time, and that's why we're all here to have a great time. And if you ever want to join us, you could reach out on either the Twitter or the Instagram. Reach out at the Sadistic Penguin Studios YouTube channel. Check out everything that's going on there. Really awesome. Going to be having a movie draft that I just got the the drop on coming up, and we're all going to be drafting some really awesome Halloween movie ideas. Go back and check out the Misfits episode. Remember, everybody, you got to put on that Halloween every day. It should be. You never get enough of that bass line. But the purpose again here is to share with you awesome, awesome things. And I think that's what we did here tonight. I think we went a little bit of here, a little bit over there. Always love crossing this bridge with you guys, you know. So again, until next time, until you find yourself just out there listening to good tunes, you know, as I said, if you find yourself dropping the needle or whatever awesome other stuff that you find yourself doing, please, please, please have a good time. And we will definitely talk to you next week for more awesome Halloween stuff. Take care, everyone. Have a good week.